Welcome to Spooky News from Spooky Ventures for October 8th, 2021. The nights are getting longer and the rest of the world has been drawn into their spooky season. I know for those of us who are part of the spooky tribe, spooky season lasts all year long. Still, it's nice to have everyone else joining in on the game plan for a while. That means this is our time. As usual, before we get to the news, I have a few things to mention. First, stick around after I'm done talking for more information. That's where you'll find the source URLs and more information links for the various things talked about here. Secondly, don't forget to interact with this YouTube channel. Like our videos, share our videos, comment, and subscribe. For more spooky content, check out spookyventures.com and cafepress.com/spookyventures. Now, turning our attention to the news, we're going to start this edition with a piece of news that's more general, but also sort of a shopping thing. Well, if the budget is right anyway. Are you a fan of the old show The Munsters? Well, you might be familiar with Herman's dragster from that show, Dragula. Yes, Rob Zombie has a song by the same name. Well, if you've ever wanted to own the coffin dragster, your time is coming. There are only 5 of the cars in existence, all made by the same people for use in and promoting the show. One of those 5 will be going up for auction in January, so if you have the budget for it, you might be in luck. Next up, let's talk about travel for a little while. We'll start with a story that would be of interest to fans of Scream. Although her Airbnb has the house where much of the original movie took place available as a rental, and they're offering a special opportunity for Halloween. Starting October 12th, you can get a chance to score a one-night stay in the house for just $5. For that price, they include a lot of extras, including calls from Ghostface, a virtual welcome from David Arquette, who played the sheriff, and more. There will be 3 of those packages available, so you better be quick getting yours reserved. Music is the next item on the news agenda for this week. In fact, I have 2 music tidbits to share, and both qualify as movie-related because they're both about songs from the Halloween Kills soundtrack. The first song comes from the band Ghost. They have a new tune called Hunter's Moon in the soundtrack, and the video to it is on YouTube, and it's suitably creepy. I previously mentioned a video from John Carpenter of a piece from the soundtrack, and he also has a new one out. This one bears the title Michael's Legend, and you can also find it on YouTube. From music, we'll turn our attention to television. In a previous edition of Spooky News, I mentioned the fact that Disney Plus is going to debut a new series from the mind of R.L. Stine called Just Beyond. Well, a brand new trailer for the series has debuted. The actual show will hit Disney Plus in a few days on the 13th, but you can get a feel for it with the trailer now. Next up is a story about Hulu. They are promising an interactive experience for viewers they call Huluween. While they haven't given a lot of details, they say that an evil presence known as Ulu, that's Hulu spelled backward, is watching all activity in the month of October and might appear in some way. I guess if you want to find out what that's all about, you can be sure to tune in to scary content on Hulu, but all is set to be revealed on October 25th in an origin story short. Hulu might have Ulu, but Netflix has none other than Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Netflix has a new video called Netflix and Chills with Dr. Elvira, in which the horror hostess, who out of character is known as Cassandra Peterson, talks about the health benefits of watching horror movies. If you crave horror on the big screen and like surprises, AMC Theaters might have something for you. They have a new program called Thrills and Chills, and the idea is this. You can catch a classic horror film on the big screen for just $5. The catch, though, is that you don't know what movie you'll see. I tend to be more about the small screen these days, but I think that the idea of not knowing what you will see would be fun. Our final news item concerns both some sad news and a call to action. If you're a fan of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, you know a man named Rico Browning, even if you don't realize it. He played the gill man in the underwater scenes in all three Universal films featuring the creature. He was quite active in films beyond that, but for most horror films, that role is the one that stands out. Apparently his daughter has revealed that he's in declining health, and she's asking fans and well-wishers to send letters and cards to cheer him up. The address is Rico Browning. That's R-I-C-O-U, Browning, 5221 Southwest 196 Lane, Southwest Ranches, or Ranches spelled R-A-N-C-H-E-S, Florida, 33332. It sounds like a great way to help bring joy to the life of someone who has brought joy to so many in his time of need. Well, that's all for the news this time around. There are a few dates I should mention, but first remember, you can always find these dates on our event calendar. Go to spookyventures.com and scroll down the page to find the link for the calendar. Now, as to those dates, 2 movies open today. The first is a science fiction horror film called Lamb, and the second is a dark fantasy horror film titled The Secret of Simchani. Tomorrow, October 9th, is director Guillermo del Toro's birthday. A week from today, on the 15th, there will be 2 more movies opening. One of them will be the modern folk horror movie Demigod, and the other one I've talked about quite a bit in these spooky news segments, Halloween Kills. If all goes as planned, I'll be back here in 1 week with another new spooky news segment. In the meantime, remember you can find spooky content at spookyventures.com. Our merch can be found at cafepress.com/spookyventures. You can find my books, many of them of the spooky variety, at garyhillauthor.com. Until next time, as always, keep it spooky. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.